In terms of the use of military courts to try civilians, there are major concerns since Pakistan is a state party to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And as per Article 14, fair trial is one of the rights that it must guarantee to all of its people. And military courts just don't provide fair trials. And as we've seen, the Supreme Court, the Peshawar High Court have both raised serious concerns about the way military courts are run in Pakistan. Access to lawyers, the use of torture in extracting confessions, the way in which judges are selected, and the fact that these are trials that are carried out in private and not in public, all of these are major fair trial concerns with military courts. Pakistani authorities have very clear precedent before them in dealing with violence that might be carried out by people on the streets or in other public places. There are ordinary criminal laws that can be used to respond. The use of military courts, the use of specialist laws are not needed in any way. There are already pre-existing domestic laws that can be used in a way that would not violate international human rights law. The government has a duty to facilitate peaceful protests. It has a duty to facilitate freedom of expression by using military courts with over 1,000 people arrested, with allegations of arrest of different people at different times in ways that would violate human rights laws. The government is actually not just cracking down on dissent, it's creating a chilling effect on freedom of expression as a whole in the country. And this is not a precedent it wants to set. I think there are many cases where civilians have been tried by military courts and there have been challenges. In 2015, as we know, several civilians, 700 civilians were tried, and we know that as many as 140 persons were convicted with the death sentence, 12 were executed. The case of Idris Khatak is one that comes to mind, and all of these have caused grave concerns domestically and internationally. Pakistan must guarantee fair trial to its citizens. It must guarantee freedom of expression. And the use of these laws, the use of military courts in this way paves the way for other human rights violations like enforced disappearances, like torture. And Amnesty has raised these concerns for many, many years. And therefore, for that reason, we urge the government to immediately transfer these cases to ordinary criminal laws, to ordinary courts, and to deal with violence by people only using domestic laws that are in line with international human rights law and not military specific laws or institutions.